A big hello and welcome to the Mockingbird Show, a place where we observe, reflect, and understand the lives of our little ones. And today I've come up with a very interesting topic, which is for both parents and educators, and it is about homework. How much homework is too much of homework? How much homework should we give? It is often being said or asked in a preschool about how much homework has been given or why is there not enough homework. So that's a query by parents that we often see, and that is something our teachers often get to hear in every preschool. But what if I told you homework is not really adding to your child's learning experiences, especially in the early childhood years? So let me break this myth and establish the truth in terms of homework. Well, stay connected till the end of this episode, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so and be a part of the Mockingbird Show. We often hear people saying that homework helps children learn a lot and also make them more disciplined. It sounds logical, doesn't it? Practice makes a man perfect. That has been something said to us since we were very little. But when we look at the early childhood scenario, does it really help the child? We have to look into that. How homework is working for a child's learning experiences, or how it is actually not really helping the child to learn. So generally after every day in a preschool, there are worksheets, tracing lines, there are many different things, match and color, match and count, fill up the gaps, XYZ, which is given as homework to be done at home. So these are very common things, but now we will look into how this thing is helping the child or really not helping the child so much. So let us pause and think about it. Let us actually try to decode how homework is helping or not really helping. Between 2 to 7 years, children learn through movement, a lot of physical movement. I've shared in my earlier videos as well how much music and movement is effective in a child's learning, because the more the child moves, the more the brain is developed, because of this movement, which is connected to the development of the brain. The child learns through exploration, the child learns through inquiry, through storytelling, through many other aspects. Now, when we are talking about homework, it is about completing a few worksheets that is given to the child to be completed after school. So it's like a revisit. Yes, at the end of the week, we would want our child to revisit what has been done during the week, but being an everyday process, overloading the child with homework may not really help the child in learning, because in the early childhood years, the learning experiences are more through exploratory play, through developing the problem solving skills, instead of repetitive writing of the same pattern or the same line or the same alphabet or number. So from my experience, I have seen that children really resist homework at times. They do not like homework. There are certain children who goes back home and completes the work, but a lot of children are resistant to it. They are not really enjoying that bit. So unintentionally, we are pressurizing the child to do something that they are not willing to do. So when they're not willing to do something, are you sure they're learning? Are you sure that they are giving their attention? So when we are talking about homework, it's about attention span, how much of time the child is sitting and, completing the work. It may be an hour or so. So if the child is not happy about what he or she is doing, do you think the learning would happen? Would it be complete? So that is one thing that we need to think about. So where a home should be a place where the child feels safe and happy and is able to, be on their own, what do we do with the child? We tell them to sit down, not move, complete the homework and go and play only after they complete it. So instead of safety and a feeling of happiness, the child starts to feel a little suffocated and maybe, unsafe or threatened, because there is a workload in front of the child. So this would hamper the child's learning process. So when learning experiences are associated with completion, with correction, the children may lose interest, lose curiosity, fear mistakes, and also try to avoid it. So this is a huge cost in the learning experience of the child. So what can we do in order to replace homework and bring meaningful learning experiences in the lives of our little ones? So one thing that we can do is engage the child in storytelling. Stories are big tools of learning. So when a child is listening to stories or being a part of the story, they are developing imagination, curiosity, interest, love of learning, development of language, and many other skills like problem solving, and so many more skills that are associated with it. Also, if the children is given time to play after they come back from school, and meaningful play in terms of they are doing some puzzles, they are doing some really interesting activities, this is going to add to the child's learning process. And of course, at the end of every week, the child can be given some worksheets for revisit, so that they are kind of revisiting what they have done the entire week, and the parents also get to know that what has been covered in the class. But regular homework should be a no in case of children from 2 to 7 years, because their learning experiences, like I said, is very different. And now we are talking about no bags, so children, when they come to school, they come without a bag. They should not have that weight of books, and they should not be carrying books in order to learn, because learning is happening through the varied learning experience of STEAM. It is happening through play, it's happening through exploratory activities, through loose parts play, through inquiry, through talking. So literacy and numeracy skills developed through writing or repetitive activities has taken kind of a marginal role in terms of child's development. So we need to look at the multidisciplinary aspects of learning. We need to look at how the child learns the best. So we talk about VAC, visual, audio, kinesthetic, learning by seeing, learning by listening, learning by getting involved in the job. That is how different ways of learning happens, and children should be exposed to all of this. So I would say that parents, be mindful when you're talking about homework. Be mindful when you're asking the class teacher that why is there not enough homework for the child. You have to give quality time to the children in order to increase their positive learning experiences, and this can be done through the different activities I have mentioned here. Also, you may look at my other videos where I have talked about socio-emotional development and many other topics where we can look at the child's holistic development. So here, when we are talking about worksheets, I feel that school should be giving minimal worksheets to be done at home, and it should not be in the form of homework, but it should be in the form of revisit at the end of a week or so. So here we have to look at meaningful experiences. Why not tell the parents that take your child today to a shopping mall and give him or her the experience of shopping? Why not take the child to a vegetable market and show them the market? The child should look at the monetary dealings the parent is doing, and all of it. These are all learning experiences. These are creating the brain synapses in the child's mind, where they get to know about the real world, the true world where they are living. So these experiences are very, very meaningful. So parents, it is time for you to reflect. Teachers, it is time for you to reflect. And I am so happy that you joined me today in the Mockingbird Show. And if you find this video useful, if you feel that you resonate with it, please don't forget to send it forward, because I would want more people to watch the Mockingbird Show and be a part of the Mockingbird Show. So subscribe to the channel and always stay connected. Until next week, stay happy, stay blessed, and stay mindful.